Types of tropism in plants. The term tropism refers to a plant's biological ability to move by itself in response to various forms of external stimuli. Types of tropism in plants: phototropism, geotropism, hydrotropism, thigmotropism, and chemotropism. Phototropism. The movements shown by plants with respect to stimuli of light is called phototropism. The shoot is positively phototropic, and so it grows in the direction of light. Shoots show positive phototropism but negative geotropism. Geotropism. The movements shown by plants with respect to stimuli of gravity is called geotropism. Roots are positively geotropic. Roots show positive geotropism, positive hydrotrophism. Hydrotrophism. The movements shown by plants with respect to stimuli of water is called hydrotrophism. Thigmotrophism. The movements shown by plants with respect to stimuli of touch is called thigmotrophism. Chemotrophism. The movements shown by plants with respect to stimuli of chemicals is called chemotrophism. Nastic movement. Nastic movements are non-directional responses to stimuli. It is not like trophism. The touch-me-not plant, or Mimosa pudica, is a herb whose leaves go limp and droop when we touch, but reopens later. Photonastic movement. Photonastic movement refers to the movement in response to light.
disebabkan oleh rangsangan suhu, seperti yang terjadi pada bunga tulip. Terbukanya atau mekarnya bunga tulip terjadi pada hari-hari hangat, yaitu pada musim semi.
The Venus flytrap. Like the sundew, it makes itself very attractive, oozing nectar across the brim of each leaf. But any visiting insect had better watch out for these 6 tiny hairs. This fly has to tread carefully. If it strikes one hair, it can carry on feeding, but a timer has been set. A second strike in less than 20 seconds and the fly is doomed. An electrical impulse is triggered and the leaf snaps shut in just a fraction of a second. The tips lock together like prison bars. If the fly is very big or very small, it may just manage to escape. But most are trapped and die. Ten days later, the trap reopens. All that remains is a husk. The plant has finished its meal and resets itself for its next victim.
In today's video, we're going to take a look at how plants can respond to their environment. And in particular, we'll look at the role of auxins. Now, just like animals, plants have to be able to respond to stimuli in their environment in order to survive. They just do it much more slowly than animals do. For example, they can sense light and grow their shoots towards it to maximize photosynthesis. They can sense gravity, so that they can grow their roots downwards to fix themselves into the soil and find more water and minerals. And some plants can even sense touch, so that they can climb around other objects. In order to do all of this stuff, plants have to rely entirely on hormones. They don't have any nervous system like animals do. And the hormones that they do have normally act locally, rather than flowing around the entire organism like they would in animals. One group of these plant hormones are the auxins, which control growth at the ends of the shoots and the roots. Once these auxins are produced in the tips, they then dissolve in the solution of the cells and diffuse backwards along the shoot or the root. In the shoots, these auxins stimulate growth, causing the shoots to grow. But in the roots, they do the opposite and inhibit growth. The two responses we're going to cover are phototropism, which is a response to light, and geotropism, which is a response to gravity. And you might also hear this be called gravitropism, but it means exactly the same thing. Now, the key rules that you need to remember are that once the auxins are produced in the tips, and they diffuse along, they'll always accumulate on the shaded side rather than the sunny side, and the lower side rather than the upper side. If we start with the shoots, we can say that they're positively phototropic, meaning that they grow towards the light, but that they're negatively geotropic, because they grow away from the ground, so the opposite direction to gravity. To see how this works, let's take a look at this shoot. Because the sun is on its left in this image, the right side will be in the shade, and so the auxin will accumulate on the right. And because auxins stimulate growth in shoots, it causes these cells on the shaded side to grow faster than on the sunny side. And as you can see, it's this difference in growth rate that causes the shoot to curve around towards the light. Because these cells on the right hand side are growing lots, but the cells on the left aren't growing very much. If we take this shoot instead, we can see gravity will have exactly the same effect. The auxin will collect on the lower side here, so the cells on this side grow faster than the top side, and the shoot will curve upwards. Now, the roots are basically just the opposite. They're negatively phototropic and positively gravitropic, so grow away from the light and down towards the ground. Normally, all the plant roots will be underground, so don't detect any light. But if they do happen to get exposed to light for some reason, then the auxins will accumulate on the lower shaded side. And remember that in the roots, auxins inhibit growth, so the upper side will grow faster and cause the root to curve downwards. Now, if we pretend for a second that it curves to the left a bit more, so that it's all horizontal, we can use this to think about the effect for gravity. The auxins are going to accumulate on the lower side, and they're going to inhibit growth. So this means that the upper side will grow faster and cause the root to curve downwards. Anyways, that's everything for this video. So hope you found that useful, and we'll see you again soon.
Auxins are a group of plant growth substances. They are produced at the tip of shoots and roots. They are then transported to the region of elongation, and promote growth there, by increasing the rate of cell elongation. Shoots and roots respond differently to different auxin concentrations. From the graph here, we can see that high auxin concentrations, for example from 10 to the power of -2 to 10 to the power of 2 ppm, promote shoot growth, but inhibit root growth. This helps us explain why the shoots and roots respond differently to unilateral light. Under unilateral light, auxins move from the illuminated side to the shaded side of the shoot and root. In the shoot, the high auxin concentration on the shaded side promotes growth there, as high auxin concentrations promote shoot growth. The cells on the shaded side thus grow more than those on the illuminated side. Therefore, the shoot bends towards the light. Meanwhile, in the root, the high auxin concentration on the shaded side inhibits growth there, because high auxin concentrations have an inhibitory effect on root growth. The cells on the shaded side thus grow less than those on the illuminated side. Therefore, the root bends away from the light.
Hey guys, in this video we'll be looking at geotropism, the role of auxin in geotropism. I've already done one on the role of auxin in phototropism. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Let's get started. In geotropism, first let's address this word. Tropism is a type of plant response, and the response is towards certain stimuli. In this case, we are talking about geotropism. So geo is for gravity. Geotropism is the response of the plant towards gravity. And tropism response are growth responses. So the response is growth either towards gravity or away from gravity. And so let's look at this. This is a seed that is germinating, and then we have the young root and the young shoot. The young root is called the radicle, and the young shoot is called the plumule. And due to gravity is acting downwards, pulling all the auxin to the lower part of the radicle and the plumule. Auxin has a different effect in the root as well as the shoot. In the shoot, auxin has the effect of stimulating cell elongation, whereas in the root, auxin inhibits cell elongation. Let's see the effect of that in this plant. Auxin gathers on the bottom part of both the shoot and the root. However, due to its different effects, the direction of growth will be different. Here, auxin is gathered at the bottom, so the bottom part of the root, since auxin inhibits cell elongation in the root, what will happen is, the top part of the root, there will be a higher rate of cell elongation. Cell elongation will occur faster here. So what will happen is, the top will grow faster than the bottom. Since the top grows faster than the bottom, this has an overall effect of the whole root bending downwards because the top is growing more than the bottom. And so this is what we get. And since gravity is acting downwards and the root is also growing downwards, this is known as positive geotropism because the direction of growth is towards the stimulus. And then when we look at the shoot on this side, here we have auxin at the bottom as well. However, the effect is the opposite. Auxin stimulates cell elongation here, which means the bottom part is going to grow out at a faster rate. Cell elongation is going to happen at a higher rate compared to the top. And this will cause greater growth at the bottom compared to the top, causing the whole shoot to bend upwards against gravity. So this is what happens. And since the direction of growth is opposite to the direction of the stimulus, this is known as negative geotropism. That's it for this video, guys. Please do leave a like if you learned something from this, and do subscribe because I'll be producing at least one a week. I'll see you guys in the next one.